All right guys, I'm back from SEMA. I took a red eye, so I'm running on 4 hours of sleep. I'm gonna try to keep the energy high, but it's probably gonna deplete throughout the video. The thing that I'm most excited for, as you guys remember, we did some cool custom exhaust trickery with this, and while I was gone in Vegas, Johan got everything all welded up, and she's ready to make some noise. I do want to add a disclaimer that these are temporary tips. We have one other muffler setup we're gonna try, but we're gonna take this thing for a drive, see how it feels before Johan goes and does his crazy pie cut titanium fabrication. We want to make sure it's a setup that we're going with. Now, full disclaimer, the boys did send me sound clips because it is already tuned on the dyno, but I want to hear it in real life, and this will be my first time hearing it. I mean, right off rip, it's pretty quiet, so that's a good sign. I was worried about it being maybe a little bit too loud or droney, but seems like the muffler's doing the job. I think we'll go windows down. It's interesting because it kind of sounds the same down low. Up top though, I feel like it starts to get a little smoother. I don't know if that's the headers or the muffler doing that, but the decibel level of the exhaust is almost identical to the old setup, so it almost doesn't sound like anything's changed. But we did pick up a decent amount of power. We picked up 20 horsepower up top, lost a tiny bit of bottom end, but on a car that makes 350 horsepower, gaining 20 wheel on an NA car is pretty serious. Will it feel different? Time to do a pull. Windows down for this one. Identical. Past 7,000 it sounds like a GT3. Kind of the most perfect setup that you could do, because you get the air cooled plus you get the new car sound. I dig it. Still gets that cool throaty decel. It's a little less chunky than before. I haven't driven this car recently enough to tell you that, whoa, 20 extra horsepower feels way different. I'm sure I would notice if I drove it back to back, but it sounds good, and if the engine's making more power, that means it's breathing happier, which is a good thing. It's kind of cool to think too, this titanium muffler cost $1,000 and all the other titanium muffler options are 10 grand for something new, so to be able to reuse and use one is pretty sweet. Okay, let's give her another rip. I can't wait to take this thing back to some twisty roads. That's when this thing really shines. For now, it's just a date night cruiser. And I'm a date night loser.
It sounds sick. Can you tell the difference from outside the car?
Yeah, for
Inside the car, I'm not gonna lie, it sounds so similar to how it did before.
Really?
Yeah, just at high RPM you can hear it get a little more high pitched.
Yeah.
All right, time to f with it more.
Now, obviously a big part of doing the exhaust was for power and sound, but one thing that I'm curious about, how much weight did we save? Now, I didn't weigh the car before, but I can tell you these cars weigh around 3,100 to 3,200 stock. I'm hoping, I know it's a little adventurous, that we can get this car in the 2,800s at one point, but for all intents and purposes, all we've really done is delete some of the factory exhaust stuff and then put in the lightweight Recaros. So if we shave 100 pounds, I'd be stoked. The fancy new Longacre Bluetooth scales, and we have a weight of 2924. Not bad. I didn't think it was gonna be the 2800s, but still, just these cars are way heavier than people think. The G-bodies you can get really light, low 2000s, but these things are so heavy from stock that it takes a lot to get them light. The cool thing is though, I actually expected it to have a bigger front to rear weight split, so the fact that we're 57-43 kind of isn't too crazy. Not too far off from 50-50 if you think about it, but I don't know, maybe that is kind of far, who knows. But splits, not terrible. The front's actually pretty balanced. The rear's a little bit off, but I'm not in the car, so probably should have waited with me in it.
Well, I guess I wasn't planning to film this, but I guess we will. Sean, you want to give the quick demo? Just don't make it worse than it already is.
Johan does it better.
It's kind of insane.
Watch the walls up front, Mike. This way, this way. Oh my god.
That's normal, right? That's what Ziggy said.
It's active.
It's not the worst rig in FD.
Probably. I think you are right now the worst.
Show our truck though. We got the truck though.
Yeah, we got the good truck.
Look, is it about the trailer or the truck that's pulling it? You know what I'm saying? You know, it's a metaphor.
Inside of it.
It's a metaphor. You know, it's not about how big the truck is. It's about how you use it. Is what they always told me.
We're done with this one.
All right. But anyway, yeah. So hopefully we can get the trailer fixed because we're trying to go to GTR Festival next week, and we'll talk more about that inside the shop with the AC. So, I don't know if I ever said this in a video, but we were supposed to be going straight from SEMA to Japan. We were gonna go out there for 2 weeks, hang out for Matt Surrey. We decided last minute to pull the plug on the trip. We've just been traveling so much that we needed some time at home. However, one of the things that I was really bummed I was gonna miss because we were gonna be in Japan is GTR Festival. Hawkins is bringing it over from Australia to the US for the first time, and being a big GTR guy and a good friend of Andrew, I was bummed I couldn't make it. So I am gonna be coming out for 2 days, just Saturday and Sunday. Tommy was already shipping my red R32 out from California to be there, and he's gonna have it on display in the booth. But since I'm gonna be able to be there now, we're trying to get the trailer fixed so I can bring out both my R34, which has never been in Texas before, and my R32 sedan. So today we brought them both into the shop. They've been sitting for a bit. I wouldn't say I haven't been driving them, but there's just like a lot of little minor things I wanna dial in. And one of the things I'm actually dealing with right now, I have this like crazy horde of random interior parts, and a buddy of mine's building an R34 right now, wants to buy a bunch of them, but I don't want to sell stuff that my car actually needs, so I'm going through. I was gonna sell these weather strips, but then I'm looking at my car and I'm like, man, a lot of this stuff's kind of like dry rotted, so I should probably just replace them on my car. So we might actually be randomly installing a bunch of new OEM interior stuff. So maybe we'll make it like an ASMR montage of all the new OEM parts. That sounds fun.
The plastic opening and everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
But anyway, I got like this crazy spreadsheet, and I'm basically just going through all these things. I'm like, sell, keep, sell, keep, sell. I'm gonna put these on too. I think the ones on my car right now are broken. I don't really like them. This is sketchy. This always gets me out when I close the trunk. I think it's about to fall off.
Yeah.
So little things like that. I know Tommy's gonna be coming all over my car and fondling it. It's a cool car, but I would build it differently if I did it again. I'm just really torn right now. I'm trying to figure out the plan that I want to do with my R33, because it's like, do we leave this car and put a bunch of the new sauce in the 33, or do we put this stuff in the 33 and then start fresh with this? I just don't know. This car kind of stresses me out because I'm always worried someone's gonna like sideswipe me in a parking lot and then I'll have to repaint it.
Yeah.
Yeah, back to work. I'm so excited. Look what I found. I bought these puppies so long ago and they've been sitting up in my stash. I have gotten clobbered in the head so many times from this trunk falling on me that I literally keep a hood prop in there. I bought these bump stops, or whatever they're called, the Strikers bumpers, just to be able to pop it, because you pop the trunk and then it just like doesn't open, so you have to have like someone back there holding it. Typical R34 problems, right? First world problems. But I'm really excited because I was planning to just change the wing, but I'm gonna do these struts too. God, look how easy it is too. I have to do them on the Porsche, and you have to like take apart half of the car to get to them.
I remember doing that.
Well, we didn't do it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought we did.
We did the easy ones in back.
Oh,
The front ones are like way down yonder. So yeah, that's gonna be sick. And I don't even need the hood prop. I'm in love with this, I think. Of course. I could technically leave these and just replace these struts, but be an extra. That's a spicy car in the background.
Wonder what it made.
That's a Drift HQ build, can't show it. Top secret. But go watch their channel. Get the subscribers up. Alright. So that one goes there. Do you grease these?
No.
You sure?
I've never done it. You could.
I mean, it's plastic, so. Oh, there's grease in it. Look at that.
Pre-grease.
Thanks, Nissan.
Diddy was here.
Bro. You can't say that. This is the best, easiest thing I've ever done.
And the most rewarding, honestly.
I know. Whew. That thing ain't going nowhere, bud. That's crazy.
It's almost like it's working how it should.
It's gonna be hard to shut it now.
Yeah, you're gonna need some. Yeah.
Oh, it works once it gets past the thing. Look at that, that's so awful. Can't wait to fix that. All right, let's see if it bumps now. Yeah, that's still, it needs to bump more. After I take this out, I might need you to hold it on the side.
Yeah.
Don't know why it does that. there's the problem. Look. Oh my god, dude. My wing was literally about to come out.
That's insane.
I don't know what these are supposed to be for. Maybe these are like centering.
Maybe.
That's
Look at
also...
how loose that is.
I swear I installed it good.
You did. It's just the 100 times the trunk has been popped. It's weakened and
These are pretty like cheap quality too.
really.
Yeah. I don't think anybody would want to do anything with this. Oh, I know what I could do. This is a great moment to plug my merchandise. We have a new drop out, some amazing new things, including an air freshener of me. Ridiculous thing. And they might be sold out by the time I'm doing this, but I have two R34 GTR wing stands. I'm gonna pick 2 random orders that are placed within an hour of when this video uploaded, because I know all you guys that watch within the first hour are the diehards. I appreciate you, and I'll sign them and I'll include them with the order. No guarantees, I only got 2. There's a good chance we might get like 4 orders, so it's probably 50-50 odds.
Just be careful because that.
I know, I don't want to scratch my purple piece,
Yeah.
but it's spinning in there. I don't think I might be able to get it with a needle nose.
That is the bad kind of ASMR.
I know. And it shows you why it was pulling out. There's like nothing for that rivet to grip onto.
Right.
What are you doing? The rivets are spinning. Oh god. Just a little ASMR for you. Mira eso. No funciona para nada. Mira.
Oh, está liqueando para adentro.
Qué ridículo, ¿eh?
Curva.
Sí, porque esto. Oh my god. No. Oh, okay.
Old.
No, sí. Esto
¿se
es malo.
rompió?
Sí. Porque esto también. Oh, mira. No está aquí.
Mierda.
Sí, mierda. Sí, esto.
Porquería.
Qué peligroso.
Oh my god.
Sí.
Ay, Dios mío.
Ay, Dios mío, tío. You know something would have been funny, Mike? Imagine if I did that thing for like a TikTok. I'm trying to get better at TikTok, where I did that on R34. Like it'd be like, you know, the girl that jumps on the roof.
Oh, and you just like rip the top of your wing.
I just
off?
ripped my wing off the car. It would have been so extra, but I probably would have messed up my trunk.
Yeah, well, that was almost about to almost about to happen naturally.
That sucks.
Oh.
Moment of truth. Bro. Before it used to go blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's rigid now. Like that.
Very nice.
Downforce increase. I need to replace these bolts. They're getting a little rusty. Look at that. But stainless would look bad, so they kind of need to be black.
Yeah.
Oh well. No one will see that. No one will ever notice. Doop. Doop. That's a wheel. Do I like it? I don't know. I'm gonna make the car feel new. My stupid steering wheel adapter, they get cross-threaded really easily. It's the second one I've been through. They go on great, but when it comes time to come off, I think it's just made out of like too, like not good of a material. Yeah. But I love the steering wheel spacer because it lets me, being a tall ass mother, fit better in the car. But alas, we will deal without it.
Now you're gonna have to scoot the seat forward.
Did I put this in the wrong hole? Or was that like that?
I don't remember.
I guess. Y'all seen the Milwaukee blower? I told you guys this was gonna be a random video, and I am excited to let you know that the Cosmo is back in our hands, baby. I want to give a massive thank you to Randy, and I also want to add a massive disclaimer. He's been dealing with a lot of stuff lately. He's really wanted to see this project through, but he thought it would be in the best interest of the build to get it over here. He's gonna come and help when he can, but the boys between Ray and Josh are gonna get this thing speeding along, so hopefully we might be able to see the Cosmo in one color by the end of the year. If you don't remember the plans for this build, it was going to be like my first would it be executive style?
Yeah, VIP style.
Yeah, like VIP style, but also with a 20B3 rotor that it came with.
Yeah, buddy.
And we were gonna do a DCT, but I'm thinking of doing an 8HP in it now. But my goal with this car was to do like the modern iteration of what I think, not the modern iteration, what this car would be if it was released today as like a BMW M4 competitor. So kind of like luxury but sport at the same time. Maybe in some crazy world, this car could maybe go to ultra race in Poland. That's kind of like would be a really cool goal to be able to drive this thing in Europe. But also they would probably tow it immediately with all the amount of smoke and oil this thing's probably gonna burn. But if you don't remember, we've already got the fender wells done. The bay's technically painted, but I think we're gonna do it again and just lay a fresh coat of just pure black, no metallic, just ice. I want this thing to look like a Black Mirror.
Right up my alley.
Right up Mike's alley. Pretty soon I'm gonna be wearing Divine merch.
Ah, hell yeah, dude.
But yeah, anyway, I just want to let you guys know. I know you guys ask about it all the time. It's a really, really exciting project. I'm looking forward to it. We literally already have the engine. We have a lot of parts for this thing stacked up. But paint on this thing's super important, so we've been letting Randy take his time. We'll get it here now so we can help speed it along. All right, now it's time for our weekly coffee adventures. Between the two of these, I'm actually taking the white sedan. This thing has been running really good, but one of the issues that I had with it the last time I drove with it, somehow the alignment got messed up after we got painted it, and I'm super bummed because the tire actually rubbed into the paint on the quarter, caused a little bit of chipping, which we're gonna have to touch up. So we reworked the alignment, and I wanna go drive it, make sure the car still drives straight, make sure it's not still rubbing before we fix some of the paint stuff before GTR Festival. So we're gonna go take it for a little coffee, lunch cruise, make sure that it can still put the power down without eating into the paint. But I love this car, it's one of my favorites to drive. It'll be a cool juxtaposition since I've been driving this thing around a bunch to make similar power, but totally different characteristic of how it delivers it, especially when this thing's got this meaty tire in the back. I just want a disclaimer, this car has AC, but the belt currently isn't hooked up. We're waiting on a new one to come in. It was slightly damaged and I didn't want it to fly off.
I thought these disclaimers come as we are entering the
She
car.
was warned that there was no AC, so she knows. I forget, do you like this car or do you not like this car?
I like this one.
Okay. Same turbo, almost same power as the E46 that we've been driving around. But the way that it delivers is way different.
This one already feels better.
Hey,
Already feels better.
S54 is a great engine. I think I just got used to how the other car sounds.
Is this so much better?
Oh no,
What?
look at my thing flapping around.
What thing?
Look,
Oh. Yeah, I
my
see it.
interior. It's good, but I
What
feel,
do you mean it's good? There is no comparison to the other car.
I don't know, the E46 is really good.
No? Okay. Well, you gave me a pull when it was slipping. So, what I know of the 46, this is
I feel like it would be a good matchup between the two.
no matchup, embarrassment for the 46. This is, and the sounds, this everything about this.
The sounds are good on this.
The sounds, the pull, this is good, this is good.
The E46 might pull harder up top, which is a wild thing to say. Let's see what makes traction in a second. Still spins a decent amount. I just like the E46 just makes so much better traction.
I don't know. Whatever.
Colette and I just had the cutest experience at a coffee place. How old would you say the kid was? Like maybe 8?
Maybe 7, 8. That was adorable.
He goes, I love your car. I go, thank you. He goes, it's a Skyline, right? And I'm like, how do you know that this is a Skyline? Most people don't know that's a Ford. He goes, I'm a car guy, duh. He's adorable.
But in like the cutest ways, he's so little. He's like, I'm a car guy.
That was really cool. It made me really happy. It sucks because I would have loved to just like sat on two-step for him and make him really happy, but there's like a really old people sitting right next to us at a table drinking coffee. So we just gave him some baby revs and he was like,
Aw, that's cute.
the future of automotive YouTube right there. Will.
Get a little fishtail.
Tunnel noise?
1,000 notches.
I can't resist. You gotta use it, you know? Look, they can't pull us over for making noise. Not in Florida, at least. I know you're used to California, but in Florida we got a no noise pullover rule.
Okay.
Nice little cruise in the sedan. It drove straight as the Salamander, so all we gotta do now is check to see, do we have rubbing issues? Looking at the side of the tire on this one, it doesn't look like there's anything new. I don't see any rubber sprayed. It sucks. I messed up this fender too. I don't know if you guys can see. Big bummer when this car's had such an amazing paint job. But yeah, we look good at least on the rubbing front on this side. This side is the one that had the problem. Are we better? Can't tell if that's new or old. I probably should have wiped off some of the old stuff. Looks like maybe it's still rubbing a little bit, but it can't be as bad as before, right? Or maybe is it rubbing up here? I don't know. Maybe I should jack it up and see. I looked at the video from before. We're good. One other thing I'm gonna do with this car while I got it here, I don't know how well the camera is gonna show this, but this rear glass has always had the craziest water etching marks in it. I've never tried to polish glass, but I found some Griot's glass polish, so I'm gonna give it a shot, see if I can make it look better. It has always driven me nuts looking at this thing. Again, I don't think it really shows it that well in camera, but you can kind of see, even though it's out of focus. First thing we'll do is start with some of Griot's synthetic clay. If you haven't used these things before, super handy compared to traditional clay. And it lasts forever too. So we'll spray a little bit of speed shine on the back, and then the clay will help get rid of any sort of like surface contaminants before we start polishing. That way we're not rubbing that crap all around in it. So very easy. Sprayed some speed shine, and we'll use this to get some of that junk off there. You can feel it, it almost feels like sandpaper until it's all off. Now obviously I should be removing the sticker, removing the wing, but I'm not trying to go too crazy OCD with this. Just want to see how it comes out. All right, there's one last look to attempt to show you the before. Taped up the trim just to hopefully avoid getting some splatter. One pass is not enough. And mind you, it would be a lot faster if I wasn't using the micro polisher. I'm just lazy and I love this little thing just because of the fact that I don't need to have a plug, but I am using a smaller pad, so it takes a little bit longer to do as many passes. I wonder if you guys can tell a difference. I definitely can, especially standing this far back. You can kind of see all of the spots and like just how cloudy this looks. And you get over here to the side that I polished. Obviously you can see the little nibs in the tin on the inside of the window, but the actual surface of the glass itself, way more clear and shiny than over here. That's a good angle. That just shows you how hazy and water spotted it is. One thing I really enjoy about this car is kind of getting to see the evolution of builds. This was my first right-hand drive car, and a lot of the work originally I did to this car by myself, including this whole little handbrake setup that I got all tucked in here, these little ABS deletes. It's funny because this car's been through so many different iterations, but it still has stuff remaining from every single one. As an example, it was a drift car, it's still got an angle kit. It's got the digital dash from when it was a drift car, but then it's got the new R34 seats and the old logo stuff. And even under the hood, it's like not exactly up to par with a lot of the cars that we build nowadays, but it's kind of cool because it's got a lot of character. I'm on the fence because part of me wanted to pull a bunch of stuff out of this, powder coat, and make it look a lot nicer for GTR Festival. But I think I'm gonna bring this car as is because I know for the people like you guys that have been watching this channel for a while, it'll be cool to kind of see this car, even with its little things that drive me nuts, like this coolant neck or these fittings that stick a mile out of the valve cover, or polished mixed with non-polished, mixed with all different types of things going on. But one thing that I am curious about, I say I'd ask you guys, but this is kind of something is more so for me, is do I put a bigger turbo on this? Oh my goodness. I'm glad that I didn't close the video out yet. Holy country girl, what are you wearing?
This is my normal weekend
Oh my
fit.
goodness, I've been polishing glass while my girlfriend's herding up our new flock of cows out in the backyard. Jeez, Colette.
No, I'm renovating our chicken coop. Someone's got to around here.
All right, well, basically, I do want your input on this next thing. Anyway, I don't know if I got your input on this. I'm thinking about going up from the G35 to a G40 on that thing, make 1,000 horsepower. It'll actually pull out a little bit of torque from the mid-range, which will combat the mid-range head gasket issue that we had back when we were pushing this thing really hard, and it'll make it feel a bit different than the E46 sedan. That's one thing.
But he's already holding it back anyway. So because of that, I say bigger.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't have 1,000 horsepower RB yet, and I think that's the one. It's got the block brace, it's got all the goodies to go fast, it's got a crazy ported head. Next,
Hell yeah, partner, do it.
hold on, next thing that I kind of want your input on. I commented in the last video talking about a build off between the Drift HQ shop and the LZ shop. Now, there's like, I'd say 3 different combos that I'm leaning towards. One that we've been back and forth about is, do we do the same car, and there's benefit to this, but
to start, I think if we did the same car, I'd be worried that the content might feel a little bit repetitive to you guys. If we did the same car, I think the one that I'm leaning towards the most right now is the IS300. I think it's cool because they're simple, they're not too expensive, we can do it on a budget, they'll actually drift really well and be able to do other stuff. But are we better picking two cars that are like kind of a little bit different? The other benefit is we can use them for the LZ World Tour, kind of like we did in Ireland if we did two of the same cars for like a tandem battle. Originally, before I asked you guys, what I was leaning towards was doing an S2000 and a Z3M. I don't know if you know what the Z3M is.
Yeah.
Basically E36 M3. Both of those could be had for around 10 grand if they're like kind of rough, and I feel like they would stack up really well, but they're not common drift cars. And they're also roadsters, so maybe it's a little bit less relatable to you guys. Miata's cool, but Miata is kind of played out unless we did like a newer one, and those ones are kind of expensive. So I guess the question would be, should we do two IS300s, or should we do Z3M versus S2000? It would be budget builds, kind of just, I don't know, with a timeline, and maybe we paint the cars too or something. What's your input, cowgirl?
Well, he never mentioned the World Tour battles.
Yeah.
So doing the two same chassis and then actually see them go compete for the one more times for US World Tour would be pretty sweet, but then you'd have to hold on to them until then.
Instead of selling them to recoup money.
They'll be old news by then.
True.
Because that's, I mean, you're holding on to them for like half a year.
True.
You can always just get two later on and do that. So
that's
I think
fair.
not doing anything about it like that. So if that's the case, I think two different ones.
I'd be
because
down.
The content's interesting.
And I'd be down to do something else with an IS300. I just don't know anything else that's like a good match for it.
Just do IS300 at the two later for World Tour for one more times.
Yeah.
And do like quick mini builds, like budget, fast, mini build off.
Yeah.
But the S2000 would be sweet.
I know. I've always wanted S2000, so that'd be kind of cool.
S2000 and
We would definitely build the S2000, and then Drift HQ could do the Z3M.
or newer Miata.
Yeah,
I
so
think S2000 versus newer Miata, like the new body styles, we can find one off Copart that's cheaper.
That's what I wanted to do.
That would be sick. I love the new Miata.
The problem is we're trying to do something that we have drift support and sell parts for in the new Miata. As far as I know right now, there's no really like off-the-shelf angle kits that are inexpensive or like parts that we could advertise selling, where IS300s we got a good market on. Z3Ms we do a lot with BMW Z stuff. S2000 there's a few options. We don't do as much, but comment below. Colette's got to go back to doing cowgirl things. Let me see what you guys think. One other exciting piece of news. I know we've kind of been all over the place. I don't know if I have the list to show you guys, but the next thing that Johan's been working on is basically getting this car back together. So I do want to try to drive this before the end of the year. It's been kind of like a R&D test dummy of a bunch of different stuff. We got a drive-by-wire throttle body going on, so we got anti-lag, smaller turbo, we got a stock head back on this thing. So it should be a simple but fun car that we can play around with some pretty wild stuff on. So I'm excited to see this thing back. A lot of stuff going on. We still got to paint this. We got the Cosmo now, and then we got the other coupe that I'm still trying to find a slick top roof for. So many projects going on, and I just want to kind of take this video to show you all the different random things and let you know what's going on. So appreciate you guys. We're gonna enjoy the rest of the weekend. Actually today, what I'm planning to do, my buddy Guitar Matt's coming over, and we're going to try to re-record the outro song that I use in my videos, but do like a metal type version, which I think could be really cool. I don't know if that's something you guys care to see the process of, but if you do, again, comment and let me know, and then maybe I can throw a camera up on a tripod and we can show the process. But I love making music, it's super fun, and I will see you guys soon.
When you said